Hi everyone. Thanks for coming. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick explanation of what we're doing here, because it's nice to have the beers and the tapas and everything, but this is the reason you're here, basically. In exchange for the beers and the tapas, you have to listen to me for 5 minutes. Yeah, I know, it's totally not worth it, I'm sorry. But now you're here, you're not getting out. Like, no, there's no escape. So, Jackie, lock the doors. Lock it, please. No, so basically I'll explain with 3 stories. So we have a luxury homeware provider in Australia called Sheridan. We have a farmer called Rosa in Colombia. And we have an international development organization in Africa. And I know what you're thinking, it sounds like the worst joke that you can hear. They all walk to a bar, but actually there's a nice theme running out throughout this. Which I'll explain now. So Sheridan, they're in Australia, they're doing really well. They're selling luxury homeware, bed sheets, bed linen, but now they want to expand. They want to go into different markets. Market that's doing really well now in China. It's quite close geographically, and so they're trying to create their marketing materials for them, but the problem is all their marketing materials and branding is all in English. So, next story is Rosa. She's in Colombia, she has her own farm, and she wants to increase her yields. She wants to improve the livelihoods of her family as well, but she's finding it difficult to learn about new agricultural practices. She's been in contact with FinTrack, which is an international development organization in Washington, D.C., and they provide agricultural solutions to help solve hunger and poverty. But the problem is that most of their content is in English. So how can she have access to it when she doesn't speak English, just Spanish? Third problem is for African Management Initiative, where they're wanting to expand into other countries. They're now in Kenya and South Africa, and they teach entrepreneurs and business managers in Africa how to do business, to improve their business, and then improve the economy of Africa from within. So they're trying to look at different markets. They've identified Egypt as the next one, and they have partnerships there already. But the problem is they want the content localized and culturally appropriate for their audience there. And all of their content is in English. So this is where we come in, video translate, yeah. And we can translate content into any language and any part of the video. So I'll show you quickly how we do this. So we have Sheridan, and we can translate their videos, their marketing materials into Mandarin. And I'll show you a quick example of their English version, and then after the translated version. Okay, that's enough. And we work with professional and qualified and native translators to ensure that you get the perfect translation. It's not just the Google Translate, you input it and it makes sense. The person tries to make sure that it makes complete sense in the different language. So, like for example, for 50 years, it makes more sense to say for the past 50 years. And then we translate the whole video into Mandarin. This is the finished version. Can you understand it? Yeah? Only someone did. Okay, and now we have Rosa. She has access to the content, but it's all in English. So like, the content that I have is amazing for her because it talks about new agricultural practices that's innovating the agricultural world, but also basic accounting for her to improve her business. This video is kind of different because it has a voiceover and key text. And so we're able to translate this as well. So here's the English version.
This video provided a quick overview of FinTrack's accounting guidelines, policies, procedures, and highlighted some of the systems we implement to ensure control, accountability, and transparency of FinTrack and the United States government's funds. Be sure to check back often on FinTrack University for more units in this module.
And because we have the project files, we're able to translate the text, not just for the subtitles, but also for the images that are in the video. And so because we do this, it's a completely brand new video. And Rosa can watch this, and it's all in Spanish.
Este video ofreció una sinopsis rápida de las directrices, políticas y procedimientos contables de FinTrack, además de destacar algunos de los sistemas que implementamos para garantizar el control, la rendición de cuentas y la transparencia respecto a los fondos de la empresa y del gobierno de Estados Unidos. Acuda con frecuencia a FinTrack University para buscar más unidades de este módulo.
Okay, final one, right? We have African Management Initiative. And so they want to go into Egypt, and they can translate the videos fine, but then they need to make it culturally appropriate. They need to localize for the audience. And in Arabic, this is quite difficult. But because we have the project files, we're able to do this. I'll show you the English version now.
As we saw in the case study, Gabby wants to expand her business to venture from a small boutiques to a wholesale business. In order to succeed, she'll need to hold on to her current customers to maintain stability at the same time as she reaches and attracts. Okay,
so that is the video in Kenya. And so we get the characters and we change the clothes, the ethnicity. It's bad that we have to do this, but for these kinds of countries it's necessary. And so then you have all of the same animations with the different characters.
استخدام التكنولوجيا لزيادة عائداتك. زي ما شفنا في دراسة الحالة إن جميلة كانت عاوزة توسع مشروعها علشان تقدر تغامر وتكبر شغلها من المحلات الصغيرة إلى تجارة الجملة. وعلشان تنجح هتحتاج جميلة إنها تحافظ على الزبائن الحاليين علشان تضمن الاستقرار لمشروعها.
Did anyone understand that? It was a perfect translation, trust me. It was absolutely perfect. So yeah, basically because each video and each content is completely different, you need a bespoke service. It can't be just, okay, transcript and subtitles. It has to be able to do everything or only one thing. Depends what you need. So I'll explain the process a bit. So we do transcription and translation. Basically, we write all the audio into text and then translate it. We provide subtitles and text. If we have the project files, we can change the text in the video, the inbuilt text. If we don't, we can have caption text on top of it, which I'll show you a bit later. The voiceover, the two voiceovers that you heard were client voiceovers, but we offer professional voiceovers as well. And for the professional voiceovers, you can choose between the accent, the dialect, the style, whatever you want. We have access to hundreds of voiceover artists. And if you want a more cost-effective solution, you can have a synthetic voice, which you're probably surprised, but actually it's getting much better now. These robots are taking over. And then the characters. If you have the project files, we can change the characters. And so now you're probably thinking, okay, yeah, if you have the project files, you can change it. But what if you just have a YouTube link? Or what if you just have like a Facebook video or just a video with the text binned on? Well, I'll show you a quick example of a video that we did for ourselves with the translation, subtitles, caption text, so it's over the top, and with a synthetic voice. And we translated it into German, Spanish, and French. So let's see what you think.
How many times have you trained your employees or attended a workshop where many were disengaged and distracted? And how many times have you tried to learn a course from A to Z but for
A à Z, mais vous avez oublié le début avant d'arriver à la fin. Les méthodes traditionnelles d'enseignement sont en train de devenir obsolètes. Alors, comment peut-on former et apprendre
in dieser modernen Welt, in der sich Fähigkeiten und Kenntnisse so schnell entwickeln? Nun, Studien haben bewiesen, dass der Lernprozess und das Potenzial der Studenten gesteigert werden können, indem man das Publikum
y videos. Tus alumnos pueden involucrarse con el contenido, optimizando la experiencia de aprendizaje para todos. Estos vídeos de pequeña duración.
On peut aussi y accéder quand on a vraiment besoin des informations.
Okay, that's enough. That's the interactive video. And those are all robots, except for the English person. The Spanish you can kind of gather, but like the French one, it's like, okay, it's pretty cool. Well, thanks for coming today, because we just want to like basically say, hey, we've done it. Like we've created the new website, we've created this new specialist service and want to get it out there. So this is a new website which we've created we're quite proud about it. It was Uddy's doing, so this guy. And the USP of the website is that we have a pricing calculator. We found with other companies it was kind of difficult to know exactly what you want, but with us, because we have a bespoke service, it's very difficult to know like all the pricing in one go, and we didn't want to back and forth between the clients. So you can use this and get a price immediately. So you go on number of videos, average length of the video in minutes, then transcript, okay, I want subtitles, translation, I've already got the script, and then you can choose the voiceover, synthetic. I know you all want it in synthetic now, right? It's good. No screen text, translation, no characters, and then you have the price straight away. And then next, and then send your details, and then we can do it quite quickly. The future. I want to talk a bit about the future, because we should. So we have this service, and we've been doing these processes for a couple of years now, and it's working really well. But I've identified that we can actually automate all of these processes, pretty much. So now we're building an AI-powered platform in order to translate the video into any language. We will have human verification to make sure that everything's right, but then it gives a more cost-effective, quick solution. And then we're going to introduce this with a subscription-based model. And yeah, that's about it.